Crispa looking to regain the upper hand. Philip Cesar. He's the guy who is having the hardest time adjusting to the calls of the referee on defense.
That's right.
A 2-point lead for Crispa, 10-8, 7:27 left, first quarter. Leo Paguntalan finds Victorino, and Victorino comes across with a reverse layup. Abid Gidabin almost losing, controlling. Okay. Bombing the ball. Double dribble, actually. 7:12 left in the first quarter. It can't get any tighter than this, Stephen. 10-all.
Yes, Sean. I think the difference right at the start in this ball game is that Great Taste is having a much harder time getting themselves open. Much more honest defensive play by the Redmanizers.
Paguntalan working underneath, gets a foul.
Foul, Gidabin.
From Abid Gidabin. That's his first personal and the fourth team foul for Crispa against only one for Great Taste.
Paguntalan is in a very hairy situation here. If he should continue to play well, he will play a good 40 minutes in this basketball game. But if his picks up too many fouls or his offense is not going for him, then Mendoza will come into the game, and probably a guy like Banal would switch over to Billy Ray Bates.
Right now, Leo Paguntalan is playing an unexpected role for the Great Taste Coffee Makers. 1-point lead for Great Taste. That's their first taste of the lead. Gidabin picks up the garbage and loses it to Borja Dornado. This is going to be a cinch for Victorino. He ducks the ball. He saw Bates coming behind him, and he wanted to show up Bates.
The dose of his own medicine.
Let's take a look on slow motion. Victorino, the safest shot you can take is a dunk shot.
When there's nobody within a mile of you.
See that offensive foul, Gidabin.
An offensive foul on Abid Gidabin. Looks like the Redmanizers are falling into the same trap that they fell into in the first game.
In the first few minutes, I thought they were playing honest defense, as Steve said, but now they're back to their old, shall we say, rough cut picks.
Rugged action on the defensive end. There's more rugged action on the defensive end, and this time Fabiosa's theatricals worked. Brown was called for the offensive foul.
I'll tell you, if one guy really gets hit in this basketball game, it's Ricardo Brown, and that's what's going to be remain to be seen, Joe. Can he go 5 games at this pace? They really play a rough defense against Ricardo.
Cesar sinking it from 18, going back to Ricardo Brown. Actually, we've always figured he was the heir apparent to Lim Mbeng's title of the most abused body in the league. Here is Manny Victorino heading off to Brown. Paguntalan. Here is Borja Dornado. He fakes Cesar off balance, gets a free shot. Oh, he didn't take advantage of daylight. Paguntalan simply let the ball roll out of bounds. Great Taste will keep the basketball, but we have a timeout. We'll be right back. The ball trickled in, another 18-footer by Norman Black, making it a 15-12 count with 5 minutes and 22 left in the first quarter. Great Taste up by 3. Well, if they're thinking of shackling Ricardo Brown, they better keep him away from the floor completely. 17-14, another 3-point lead for Great Taste. 4:46 left in the first quarter. Bernie Fabiosa, guarded by Norman Black. Unintimidated, he fires anyway and misses. Victorino for the rebound. Black brings it with a very, very long gallop down court. Dornado undecided, moves closer, jump shot on the run from the side. Bullseye.
I'll tell you, Borja Dornado is playing the best basketball he's played in, I think, about a year's time.
You can say that again. That first game against the Redmanizers, and tonight, wow. He's really come into his own. 19-14.
That was a traveling violation on Abid Gidabin. You know, one way that the Crispa team usually beats their opponent is they cause them to commit a lot of turnovers. But Great Taste has not been committing those turnovers.
On the contrary.
On the contrary, exactly. It's the Redmanizers that have been throwing the ball and losing the ball.
In the meantime, Ricardo Brown continues to burn. He just scored 2 more points. Promptly gotten back by Billy Ray Bates, so it's 21-16. 8 points for Bates, 6 points for Black. 6 points likewise for Ricardo Brown. Adornado off Cesar, got it.
You see, Borja Dornado does not have to work one-on-one. He's getting good picks from his teammates, and Ricardo Brown is finding him the right time, the right place.
23-16 is the count. 3.5 minutes left first quarter. Cesar at his favorite spot, right on the stripe, and Atoico misses from outside. Ricardo Brown against Philip Cesar. Got it again.
The has to be aware of Ricardo Brown. Sometimes Bernie Fabiosa finds himself under the
flows
basket.
so much, yeah.
He's got to be honest with Brown.
That's 3 consecutive baskets for Ricardo Brown, keeping Crispa at arm's length with a 9-point lead. Now it's down to 7. That last shot came from Otto Iko.
Wow.
And the counter basket by Great Taste is nullified by a traveling error. We've got another timeout. We shall return. 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the first quarter. The Crispa Redmonizers on the offensive. Cole lobs it into Bates, and Bates lobs it into the hoop. 25-20, Great Taste lead down to 5. I've been looking for an opportunity to sneak in this invitation from Tito Iduque for everyone to come to Camayan August 26th, where they will be celebrating Camayan's Founders Day. The management will be giving a special 50% discount to all who will come in an all-white outfit. And while there's still a lull here and I have the opportunity to, may I also invite you to join us in selecting our Magnolia Ice Cream Best Player of the Game. There by the Great Taste coffee makers, and the Crispa Redmonizers are in a position to whittle down that 5-point lead further. Here is Philip Cesar missing from the side. The rebound going to Alejo Alolor, who reported for duty during that last timeout.
Yes, taking the place of Manny Victorino.
Norman Black against Billy Ray Bates. Ricardo Brown off Fabiosa, got it again.
You know, Ricardo Brown suffered a lot of pressure from the press and from a lot of the ball players, Joe. He only had 11 points in his first outing, and he still played a very good ball game, but sometimes people only look at the box scores, and tonight he's out to prove he can score. That's
right. They held him to 11 points, and he's going to make them pay dearly for it tonight. Fabiosa with an alley-oop pass intended for Billy Ray Bates draws a foul from Leo Paguntalan, who can't seem to do enough to tell the referees that he's guilty.
See, Ricardo Brown is averaging 20 points a game in this second conference. Yet against the Crispa Redmonizers, he's only been scoring 17 points a game, 4 points below his average. So the Redmonizers do quite a good job in past history against Brown.
Right. A big change here in the Crispa backline. Cristobal giving Bernie Fabiosa a respite on the bench. And we've got another foul by Leo Paguntalan, his second in a row.
Yes, and that was a poor foul because you don't go for a steal against Billy Ray Bates. You play your body. You play body position.
Israel was left momentarily open there. He didn't make it, but Billy Bates was right there for the tip in. 27-22, Great Taste lead down again to 5. Alejo Alolor works it over to Paguntalan. Puts one up over Otto Iko, trifle short. Ko streaking down court now with a leather. A great interception by Norman Black. Ko recovers the loose ball, a scramble, helter-skelter. Ko blocked by Alolor, and we've got a foul by Alejo.
Now that's a non-shooting foul, because Otto Iko actually made the pass on the play. Had he gone up for the shot, it would have been a shooting foul.
Sorry about that. I thought the foul was on Alejo Alolor. It was actually called on... Oh, okay. It was the mistake of the Coliseum announcer. It was really Alolor's foul.
Yes, and Banal has come back into the ball game now.
Otto Iko. Boy, this is going to be a terrific shooting duel between Ricardo Brown and Otto Iko, because Otto Iko has found his range. Mike Cristobal has been assigned to Brown, and he's sticking to him like he owed him a lot of money.
But that's the only way.
Joel Banal against Atoy. Offline. Bates going higher for that rebound. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Philip Cesar on the left flank. Banal got in the scene. Ko finds Bates. Bates goes up against block.
That's pretty good defense by Great Taste.
Very good. Hard-earned 2 points.
No cheap baskets for either club tonight.
That's right, so far.
27-26 is the count. A solitary point lead for Great Taste, and we have a loose ball foul slapped on Israel.
Right now, Alejo Alolor should be at court pressure against Ricardo Brown. So he's got to remain parallel. Either him or Banal has to remain parallel to Brown, should Brown get into trouble.
And by Cristobal, still sticking to Brown. Norman Black was left open. Got it. 29-26. Great Taste.
2 seconds.
With a 3-point lead. And there goes the first quarter. 29-26 is the count. We'll be right back. From the Arnetta Coliseum, I'm Joe Cantana, and working this coverage with me, Steve Catan, and our guest panelist, Bai Mumar. Philip Cesar scored on a beautiful jump shot with a foul from Alalor, giving him a three-point opportunity.
Foul, Alalor.
You know, speculating on the bench and the substitutions on the Great Taste part, I think Jimmy Mariano has to bring in Eddie Boy Mendoza in the game very shortly. Ricardo Brown has been subjected to heavy backcourt pressure, and he's been doing a good job so far, but they don't want him burnt out in the early going.
Right.
When he's needed most.
Here is Ricardo Brown. Cristobal got into the way. That was a good piece of physical action there without any foul by Cristobal, and here's Riswell.
So the ball was up against the backboard, even though for a
It was
split second.
trapped anywhere in the backward. In the backward.
Look at it again on your slow-mo screens. Great call there by referee Jim Capers. Adornado working it over to Norman Black. Other side of the court now. We find Joe Banar. Alalor firing inside, heavy traffic. Nope. The rebound to Billy Ray Bates. Philip Cesar streaking down court, asking for the pass. Billy didn't see him. 30-29. Crispa up by 1. They lagged behind by as much as 9 points. A tremendous comeback here for the Redmonizers right in the opening minutes of this game. Alalor.
That hurts.
See, one thing about these officials, if you make a mistake with that basketball, you're going to pay the price.
Dribbling error by Leo Paguntalan or Alejo Alalor. And we find a backcourt combination of the Crispa Redmonizers bringing the leather down court. Cristobal along with Atoy Ko. Brown has been assigned to Cristobal. Bates inside the paint.
Well, right now, Billy Ray Bates has moved to a low post position, giving the outside shooting to Cristobal and Atoy Ko, and Bates is going to take the higher percentage shots.
32-29, a three-point lead for the Redmonizers. Norman Black misses on a drive. Adornado banks it in.
And this is why Adonado's been playing excellent basketball, in our opinion, because he's been playing good defense, and he's been going to the boards.
Yes, one of the few times we've really seen Adornado crashing those boards. 32-31, just a one-point lead for the Redmonizers. Atoy Ko from the side, got it. 6 points for Atoy, a three-point lead for the Redmonizers. 9:44 left before halftime. Norman Black to Ricardo Brown. Cristobal banging into Black in the effort to stay with Brown, but Brown was let loose for 1 second, and you don't let him loose for that much time. 33-34. Great Taste coming to within a hairline of the Crispa Redmonizers. Atoy Ko on the other side of the court, orchestrating the offensive for Crispa. Cristobal. The ball swiped from his hands by Alejo Alalor. And we've got what?
Alalor, Ko.
Stepping on the line violation.
Stepping on the line violation by Alejo Alalor. And he goes to the bench in favor of Joey Carpio. On Crispa's side, Manotok has spelled Atoy Ko in favor of Freddy Ubaldi. Israel keeps it alive. Ubaldi underneath.
Offensive
foul, Ubaldi.
Okay.
Offensive foul.
Let's try to understand that call. There was no place for Ubaldi to go. Take a look at slow motion here. Brown had his position. Now Ubaldi just threw his shoulder up. He had nowhere to go.
Matter of fact, got Brown at a kisser with his elbow. Philip Cesar sailing all the way to the hole. Another three-point lead for the Redmonizers. 36-33. They've got the adrenaline pumping in their veins now. A turnover.
Foul, Banal.
As a result of a foul by Banal. Go ahead.
This kind of foul was explained by the two referees in the clinic, which I had the pleasure to attend, that once the screen moves, the contact, he causes the contact. And that was a perfect example of it.
I see. By Cristobal. Making it 38-33, a 5-point lead for the Redmonizers. 8:36 left before halftime. Carpio works it over to Adornado. Adornado making his move, swings to the right, fires off Israel. Bullseye.
Blistering shooting from both squads and fast action tempo.
You bet. A game worthy of a championship. By Cristobal again. Two successive baskets by Cristobal keep Great Taste at bay with a 5-point lead, 40-35. Joey Carpio, a former Redmonizer, bringing home the 2 points.
You know, boy, it's a high-scoring basketball game, or the percentages are high for that matter. Yet I feel the defense by both squads is quite good.
Very good, actually. And I could say that they have already adjusted really to the calls of the officials. No useless fouls as much as they did, Crispa especially in the first game.
Billy Ray Bates enhanced that foul by Joel Banal by going up with his hand without the ball, and that's a second personal on Joel Banal. We've got a couple of substitutions, one for each side. Abed Gidabin relieving Philip Cesar, and Eddie Boy Mendoza replacing Ricardo Brown, who sizzled to the tune of 10 points right in the first quarter. No, 12 points actually. 10 in the first quarter, 2 in the second quarter, and Billy Ray Bates is on the strike. Even the pressure is beginning to tell on Billy.
Now this is a very good substitution. Bernie Fabiosa coming in for Cristobal. The reason being Ricardo Brown is out of the basketball game now. He could save by Cristobal. He's very tired, and Fabiosa can come into the game now and orchestrate the offensive.
That's right, Steve. And besides, shall we say, Cristobal did a good job against Brown.
Well, not only defensively, but offensively, as a matter of fact. He scored 2 successive baskets. Here is Joey Carpio from the side, deflected by Abed Gidabin. And here is Freddie Ubaldi on the other side of the court, met by Banal, harassed by Norman Black. Back pass to Abed Gidabin, who puts it up and in.
That's hard.
First basket for Abed Gidabin tonight. A 6-point lead for Crispa, 43-37. A warding up offensive foul by Boxa Dornado. That's his second personal. 7:15 left in the second quarter. Freddie Ubaldi rips the lane and the forge.
You know, I think that now that Ricardo Brown is on the bench, the Great Taste team has to slow down the tempo a little bit. They fell into a rut, and Crispa is now up by 8 points. Crispa, on the other hand, should continue to run with the basketball.
That's right.
Also to give Black a breathing space.
Well, Norman Black has not been getting the basketball as much as he should.
That's right. I was about to say that.
Great Taste Coffee.
We've got a timeout. We shall return. Well, Steve Catan, both clubs seem to be aware that this is your last coverage with us for this season, and that's why they're playing a great game by way of a send-off gift.
I doubt that.
6 minutes and 36 seconds left. The score 47-37. Crispa up by a whopping 10-point lead. Norman Black was unable to field the pass. And Billy Ray Bates was contesting the call of the referee, but Mr. Capers sticks to his decision. Great Taste will keep the basketball.
See, sometimes it's important for the official to explain to the player the nature of his call.
Let's watch Victorino at work. Banal. Eddie Boy Mendoza lobs it into Victorino. Here is Norman Black. The fadeaway of Billy. Too strong. And the Crispa fast break being fashioned once again. Freddie Ubaldi, Abed Gidabin up the anchor. He misses. Rebound to Norman Black. Victorino trying to keep the ball. He doesn't have the best dribble in the world.
Smart play by Victorino and the rest of the Great Taste team, waiting for the big man, Norman Black, to come down court. Norman has to get the ball 2 out of every 3 offensive series.
Right now, Black is playing outside against Billy Ray Bates. He inches his way on the baseline. Misses again. Cole picks up the garbage. Here is Ubaldi. 5:40 left. Crispa up by 10. Freddie Ubaldi against Joel Banal. Short. Norman Black again for his umpteenth rebound. His 7th defensive rebound. Carpio. It trickles in. 47-39. Crispa lead down somewhat to 8 points. 5 minutes and 20 left before lemon time. And a tired-looking Freddie Ubaldi tells his crew, relax, fellas, let's do this nice and easy.
Until he gets the ball.
Right. Freddie Ubaldi trying to work his way on the periphery of the lane and is caught for what? Traveling.
You know,
Traveling. He lifted his pivot foot.
That's right. Whenever you're going to go up for a layup and you stop, it's going to be called a walking violation.
Great Taste offensive is underway. Black fires one off Billy. Offline. Billy seems to be distracting Black no end.
And keeping out of foul trouble.
Right. Follow up by Joel Banal makes it 47-41. A 6-point lead for the Red Manizers. 4:44 left before halftime. Freddie Ubaldi staying close to the corner. Billy Ray Bates fires. Nope. Mendoza. Carpio now trying to shake off Atoico. The Crispa defense is falling fast into place. Victorino.
You see the Great Taste players, they're all out of position. Mendoza is under the basket. Victorino's outside. They got to get into position.
And Black just can't seem to find the bucket tonight. 47-41. Abid Gidabin stretched all the way up. No foul whistle called.
No harm, no foul.
Right. Cristobal just came back into the game, pulling out Bernie Fabiosa. Cristobal with butterfingers loses the ball to Norman Black. Time left, 1:39 in the first half. Ricardo Brown trying to shake off Cristobal and getting a foul from Bai. Not by Mumar, by Cristobal, that is.
You know, when the official blows his whistle, if he has an offensive foul, right away he signals offensive.
Right.
No room for doubt.
That's right.
Exactly. That's the way to assert authority. And that was an equally authoritative shot by Norman Black. 51 all. The sixth standoff in the game. 1:24 left, first half, by Cristobal against Ricardo Brown. Billy Ray Bates challenging Banal, as well as two other coffee makers, and making the shot. 53-51. The Redmanizers are very quick to retaliate after Great Taste pulls up a deadlock. A foul away from the ball, spotted by referee Capers on by Cristobal. That's his second personal. And Jimmy Mariano promptly takes advantage of this lull to pull out Joey Carpio and send in Bogs Adornado.
Let's take a look at the matchups between the imports. Bates outscoring Black 23-14, but the rebounds, Black has been stronger, 9-4, and assist 3-2 in favor of Norman Black.
See, even the way the referees communicate vocally is very authoritative. We can hear it a mile away. Here's Billy Ray Bates working it over to Cristobal. He's wide open for that shot, and he blew it. 53-51. Crispa up by 2. Only 48 seconds left before halftime. Banal, indecisive, passes up to Adornado. Bingo.
That was a great pass by Banal because he had the option to shoot. Defense came over to him, so he made the pass.
53 all. That's 7 deadlocks already in this game. Bates inside the paint gets a foul from Joel Banal, his third. It's costing a lot for Banal to keep Bates in check. And Gidabin is replaced by Padim Israel, a highly defensive player. Time left, 29.7 seconds in the first half. Atoiko guarded by Adornado. Wow. The two hottest shooting players in the PBA taking on each other on defense.
Former MVPs.
Right. And former Crispa Redmanizers. Well, that is for Adornado. Joel Banal against Billy Ray Bates. Let's see if Bates. He done it. 55-53. 2 seconds left. Bates with a steal. He's not gonna make it. And he goes straight to the dugout. How about that?
Now the free throw shooting, don't look at those statistics because the Redmanizers are only one of 3, and the Great Taste team is 1 of 2. Now there have been a lot of fouls called in this game, but more on the offensive end. The rebounds quite low for both teams, I think, due to the high shooting percentages. Assists exactly even, and the turnovers, I think that's to the advantage of the Redmanizers, the fact that they are even 10 all in the turnover category.
They are more careless, Steve. That's why to have an equal number of turnovers is an achievement.
All right, the second half is off the ground. It's 12 seconds old. We just saw an unproductive thrust there by the Crispa Redmanizers. Here's Manny Victorino. Oh, that would have been a virtuoso play if it had dropped, but it didn't. So the score is stagnant at 55-53. Crispa hanging on to a 2-point lead. Crispa spots Gidabin inside, and he missed at point-blank range. Ricardo Brown. Bogs Adornado. He leaned forward and baited a foul from Bates. That's the second personal for Billy Ray Bates. A quick look now at the lineups. Bates, Cristobal, Cesar, Gidabin, and Co for Crispa. Black, Banal, Brown, Victorino, and Adornado for Great Taste. This is Bogs on the line.
You know, Joe, the way I see it, Great Taste will not pull away in this basketball game. Crispa, on the other hand, does have a chance to put together 5 or 6 points in a row and break the game, not wide open, but sort of to their favor.
You know, I was asking our statistician, Joe Concepcion, earlier about whether there had been a precedent in PBA history where a team recovered from a 2-0 slate in a best-of-5 series and came back to win the championship. He didn't have any answer for that. Do you recall any instance of that, Bai?
I don't remember of any instance where a 2-0, a leading team with a 2-0 could lose.
I see. So it's absolutely imperative that Crispa win this game. 57 all is the count now. That is the 9th deadlock of the game. By Cristobal has it for the Redmanizers, guarded by Bogs Adornado. Abit Gidabin set up a pick for him. Atoiko, the baseline drive, puts it up right over Adornado.
Like we said at halftime, look out for Atoiko in this second half.
59-57 is the count, a 2-point lead for the Redmanizers. Victorino takes matters into his own hands and goes to the hole.
Well, in that play, the Great Taste team was leaving the shaded lane wide open.
Oh, this is a bad break for the Crispa Redmanizers. They lost the ball. On what kind of a violation was that?
Well, the ball went out of bounds.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Here is Ricardo Brown trying to shake off by Cristobal. Joel Banal puts it up over Atoiko, hit the side of the board, but drew a foul nevertheless from Atoy. That's only his first foul of the game. 59 all is the count, and Great Taste has a golden opportunity to get the upper hand for the first time in a long spell.
You see the referees here are signaling to one of the Great Taste players to fill the lane. For a foul shot to be valid, there has to be at least 2 players on the line.
That's mandatory in the rules, as we know.
Yes, that's one thing where the referee should not have to beckon the player to come in. The offensive team should be there. They should want to have that position.
It's to their advantage.
Exactly. Well, those holes are slowly being filled up thanks to the presence here of these 2 NBA referees. 60-59 is the count. Great Taste up by 1. Here is Philip Cesar swinging over to the right side. Very crowded lane. Gidabin put it up over Black. It didn't have a prayer. Victorino and Adornado both asking for the ball. Adornado got it and blew it. Run and gun game being applied by both squads now. Cristobal gives it back to Cesar. Bates keeps it alive. Bingo.
You see the transition game of the Redmanizers is really fantastic. Missed shot, they come down, they're on offense. Everybody's offensive minded.
Well, that's only a solitary point lead for the Redmanizers, which can be wiped out by Great Taste with a couple of points in this play. Victorino tried to cut in. Abit Gidabin barged into the lane at the same time, and he picked up his 4th foul. Bad news for Tommy Manotok, and he quickly dispatches Yo-Yo Villamin to take the place of Abit Gidabin. Counter substitution here by Jimmy Mariano, Leo Paguntalan for Joel Banal.
Yes, Villamin is an excellent ball player. Has not been seeing any playing time in this game so far.
Black couldn't find it from the 15-foot line, and here's Atoiko galloping down court by Cristobal, unable to control. He controls. Cesar takes Adornado off balance, gets his bucket.
That's a wise move.
Oh.
Foul Adornado.
Philip Cesar is no doubt the master of tricks outside the book.
You see on that particular play, Atoiko waited for Philip Cesar to get good position before making the pass.
Timing was perfect. When the defense was in a disadvantageous position, he was helpless.
He's got a Grand Slam opportunity in a sense, in addition to fishing the 3rd foul from Bogs Adornado. 63-60. 3 team fouls for Crispa, 1 for Great Taste. Time left, 8:54, 3rd inning. Cesar gets his 3-point play and a 4-point advantage for the Redmanizers, 64-60. Bogs Adornado programming the offensive for Great Taste. Here is Norman Black. He left Billy behind.
How many personal fouls for Billy Ray Bates, Joe?
Well, Billy Ray Bates has 27 points right now, against 16 for Norman Black.
And only 2 personal fouls.
That's right. Gutsy play there by Yo-Yo Villamin. He went up against two tall and big Great Taste defenders and drew a foul from Norman Black, but that was only the first personal for Norman.
And you could see that Tommy Minotok was looking at the stats. He saw his team, who was an excellent foul-shooting ball club, only going to the free throw line 3 times. In that first game, Crispa made 23 of 24 foul shots.
And right now, Villamin split his charities to give Crispa a 3-point edge with 8:25 left in the third period. Adornado has it. Brown trying to shake up by Cristobal. Adornado tried to get it back from Black and got a foul instead. No foul, I'm sorry. The ball just went out of bounds, and the Great Taste Coffee Makers will keep the basketball. It will be a baseline inbound for Bogs Adornado. Leo Paguntalane at right field. Here is Norman Black against Billy Ray Bates. Crispa defenses falling beautifully into place. They have to find an outside shooter here. Bogs Adornado couldn't find it from 20.
Well, Bogs had to take that shot. There was only 4 seconds on the 25-second shot clock.
By Cristobal, very tentative about that move. He didn't know whether to shoot or to pass, and it almost cost them the basketball.
Well, you should use the Atoy Co philosophy. When in doubt, shoot the ball.
Right. Here's Atoy. Oh, he doesn't mince words about his shot. Yo-Yo Villamin trying to keep the basketball for Crispa. Leo Paguntalane had the last touch.
What a great effort.
They're really hustling. That's the name of the game. Hustle. Cesar. That ball must be wet.
Well, that's a clean play. It's not a double dribble. It's a fumble.
Billy Ray Bates with a decoy play. Atoy Co with a fadeaway.
3 seconds.
3-second violation spotted by Jones. And now Great Taste has it within its power to even equalize if they can come up with a birdie here. Ricardo Brown with a 2-pointer.
Very difficult to cover Ricardo Brown. When he puts his mind to scoring, he's definitely going to get the shot off.
65-64, just a 1-point lead for the Redmanizers. Time down to 7 minutes and 5 seconds, third inning. Cole finds Bates. Bates is lingering in the 3-point region. Now makes his move, the fadeaway. That was a very smart move on the part of Billy Ray Bates. He led Victorino to believing he was going to drive. And there's a beautiful steal by Cristobal, passing to the wrong man. Manny Victorino goes to the hole, and he's fouled.
Oh, Manny Victorino.
From one boo-boo to another.
Right.
Cristobal passes it to the wrong man. Victorino missing the easy shot.
You know, there's a word in Tagalog that best describes the attitude of Victorino in that play. Gigil.
Right.
67-65. Great Taste down by 2, now by only a point with 6:44 left in the third quarter. Manning the backcourt now for the Crispa Redmanizers by Cristobal and Atoy Co. They've got a lot more ceiling in that back line now. Bernie Fabiosa has not been seeing very much action in this game. By Cristobal, fires on a screen by Cesar. Good!
Well, that's one reason why Bernie Fabiosa has not been seeing playing time. Cristobal doing a good job on Brown and also scoring points.
Exactly. Here's Norman Black. He's got his hands full with Billy Ray Bates. Adornado leaves Cesar behind. And there's the outlet pass. Oh, lost to Leo Paguntalane. Counter pass break being cautioned by Great Taste. Brown pulls up. Got it.
Paguntalane has been a workhorse on defense. The guy has arms all over the place.
He is the surprise package of Jimmy Mariano tonight. 69-68. Great Taste just 1 point behind. Time left, 5:49, third quarter. Joel Banal is going to replace somebody on the Great Taste lineup on the first occasion of a dead ball. In the meantime, Yo-Yo Villamin trying to shake up. Beautiful drive. Fantastic move executed by Yo-Yo Villamin, giving Crispa back a 3-point lead, 71-68.
Yes, and I think Villamin will continue to stay in the ball game. Gidabin will cool his heels on the bench.
Right.
No way can Tommy Minotok pull him out the way he's playing offense and defense.
Norman Black. That basket didn't come easy, that's for sure. 71-70. Great Taste once again within a point. Billy Ray Bates against Manny Victorino.
You know,
Yes.
Excuse me, Joe. Sometimes you wonder why Billy Ray Bates doesn't take every shot.
Right. He continues to run rings around an increasingly frustrated Manny Victorino. 73-70. Bogues Adornado telling Brown to get to the other side of the court. And he takes the shot himself. You know, the idea, I think, of Adornado in telling Brown to keep away from him is to spread the Crispa defenses.
Open, yes?
Right. Because they are concentrated on Brown and Adornado. And here is Yo-Yo Villamil. Another power play by Yo-Yo.
Never intimidated. And to think that it's Black in front of him. No?
Right. Only 4:20 left in the third quarter. 75-72. Crispa hanging on to a 3-point lead. The Great Taste Coffee makers hard pressed to equalize. Bogues Adornado. That was a desperate move on the part of Bogues.
Foul, Villamin.
Well, at least he succeeded in drawing a foul from Yo-Yo Villamin, and Adornado is recalled to the bench by Jimmy Mariano.
Crispa Redmanizers.
Crispa Redmanizers have just called for a ceasefire. We'll be right back. 3 minutes and 59 seconds on the third quarter. Another beautiful conversion by Norman Black brings Great Taste to within a point of Crispa, 75-74.
You know, Joe, I'd like to pose a question to our guest, Brian Mumar. You know, looking at the Crispa team, they fielded about 5 or maybe about 8 or 9 different ball players. But for the Great Taste team, Black has yet to go out of the basketball game. Brown has played virtually the entire game. Bogues Adornado has been working hard. Hagut Alan seeing a lot of action. What's going to happen in the fourth period? Is Great Taste going to run out of gas?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I've seen them play and they can pace themselves very well. As a matter of fact, in this third quarter, I think they're pacing. They're not putting all and everything of it.
Well, the breaks seem to be falling Great Taste's way at this juncture of the game. 2 successive baskets by Norman Black immediately restored the lead to Great Taste at 76-75, and an error by the Crispa Redmanizers resulted in a turnover. Great Taste now in a position to sweeten their lead to 3 points if they can hit pay dirt in this ensuing offensive. A couple of substitutions. You want to pick that up, Steve?
Yes, we have Philip Cesar coming into the basketball game for Atoy Cole. That's about it.
That's about it. All right, here's Manny Victorino in the left flank. He drives and bangs into Yo-Yo Villamin, and that was a very obvious offensive foul.
You can escape from that. With the American referees, you can escape from that offensive foul.
Let's take a look. There you see. Well, Victorino, if he felt the contact, he should have thrown the ball up at the basket.
That's right.
Just in case it was a defensive foul.
Philip Cesar is red in the face after being rejected terribly there by Manny Victorino, and before the action resumes, another timeout, this time by Jimmy Mariano. We shall return. Live from the Arnetta Coliseum, game number 2 of the Best of 5 Championship Series between Crispa and Great Taste goes on with 2 minutes and 39 left in the third period. Steve and Lauro.
And no player is in danger of falling out.
Exactly. Great Taste hanging on to a 1-point lead. Black soaring high for that rebound. Here is Leo Palutalani. He's got to go for the hoop. Nope. And look at the tremendous hustle of Leo. After missing the shot, he went and dived after the ball and got a foul. Manny Victorino picking up his 3rd foul.
You know, Joe, if I had this game on Betamax.
Oh, yes. Well, Bernie Fabiosa got away with 2 points that time and sent Crispa back into the driver's seat with a 77-76 count.
Offensive foul?
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul, Black.
Norman Black picking up his 2nd foul the offensive way. 1 minute and 38 left, third period. That's the 15th foul for Great Taste, 6 for Crispa with 1 minute and 36 left, third inning. Billy Ray Bates in the left flank, watched as usual by Manny Victorino. He puts one up over Manny, missed this time. Vadim Israel tried to save it from going out of bounds, in vain. Joel Banal will inbound for Great Taste from the left sideline. Vadim Israel has been assigned to Joel.
You could see on that particular play, Vadim Israel, you know, fell out of bounds, but the official gave Vadim some time.
To return to the court.
Exactly. You know, good effort, and he lets him get back on defense, which is a proper thing to do.
Well, little enough you can do to reward a guy for his valiant effort. 77-78. Great Taste up by 1. A minute exactly left in this third period. Bernie Fabiosa throws up a surprise shot. Billy Ray Bates misses on the follow-up. And here's Leo Palutalani sprinting down court with Ricardo Brown confronted by Philip Cesar. Philip Cesar gave him a wide berth, but then no way you could really stop Brown when he pulls up like that.
You see, Brown, even when he's moving very quickly, when he goes up for the jump shot, he suspends himself in midair. So
perpendicular,
yes, so that his momentum does not cause the shot to go too far.
A 3-point lead for Great Taste. 80-77. Time left. 28 seconds in the third inning. Fade away by Bernie Fabiosa. He's been taking a lot of forced shots. And now Great Taste is in a position to take the final say in this chapter. Only 13 seconds left. Norman Black against Billy Ray Bates. He draws a double team. Ricardo Brown is open. Got it.
Wow. You can never give him an inch.
2 seconds.
82-77, and there's the horn sounding the end of the third period. Hang in there. If you've got any breath left, save it for the next 12 minutes, because thereby lies the payoff period. We'll be right back. We're 11 seconds into the fourth quarter, and Joel Banal just picked up his fourth personal.
Let's look at the scoring by period. See, it's been a nip-and-tuck battle. Crispa down by 3 in the first, up by 5 in the second, and then Great Taste with a great performance, 29-22 in the third.
Billy Ray Bates shakes Victorino off and converts from 10. 82-79, just a 3-point advantage for Great Taste. Team fouls, 1 for Great Taste, still a clean slate for the Redmanizers, Joel Banal. They're playing it very deliberately at this point. The Great Taste coffee makers are. Here's Norman Black at low post against Bates. Nope, Gidabin for the rebound. He was in a great position for that recovery, and here's Mike Cristobal down court for the Redmanizers. Cole picked up by Ricardo Brown. Gidabin against Joel Banal. 15 seconds on their shot clock. Offensive foul again.
That's number 5 for Gidabin.
One more. It's going to be sayonara for Abid Gidabin for this game at least. 82-79, 10:58 left in the game.
See, Gidabin is the type of player whose game can adjust from one night to the other. That's why the first few minutes for Gidabin should be a sensing out period and seeing where he can do the most damage.
And Gidabin takes time to get his bearing. He's the kind of player who has to stay longer to get his bearing.
Okay, don't worry, you didn't miss very much.
Yes, Mike Cristobal was quickly inserted back into the ball game in replacement of Bernie Fabiosa. Cristobal has not missed too many shots from the outside this evening.
And Fabiosa was not his usual set.
Right. We've got two great analytical minds dissecting this game for you tonight. Steve Caban and Mauro Baimumar. And here's Philip Cesar with a great steal. Why in heaven's name did he do that? Here's Ricardo Brown. Wild pass by Ricardo.
And to think it was Cesar, right?
Yes. Philip Cesar would be the last person in the world you would expect to lose his composure like that. Gidabin going up against Norman Black, and we've got a foul by Norman, it seems. That would be his third.
That's safe.
Foul Black.
3 fouls.
Paguntalan.
You know, that was a double block eye actually for Norman Black. He not only picked up a foul, but he also hurt his left hand, which had been injured about 3 weeks ago.
Joe, and you could bet that hand is stinging right now.
Oh, I could see that.
You could see he has his 2 middle fingers taped together.
Take a look at that last piece of action again in slow-mo. That was Norman Black. He was trying to stop Abid Gidabin, and then he fell on that hand. Wow, what a painful experience that must have been. And it still is a painful experience, I can imagine.
Well, Joe, right now they should be using some type of cold spray.
Yes.
Freon or something, eh?
Yes, an ice pack right here is not going to do anything within 20 seconds.
Especially state.
Timeout, Great Taste.
Okay, the injury timeout is over, so Jimmy Mariano asks for a regular timeout. We'll be right back. Abid Gidabin is now towing the stripe for a pair of charities after that last call by Norman Black. Well, we were rather apprehensive about Norman's chances of being able to continue with the game. We're glad to see that he's there.
You know, Joe, previously Norman Black injured his left hand, but on that particular play, it was his right hand that was hurt. And I believe he hurt it while he was trying to block that shot up against the backboard.
Wow. In any case, the Crispa Redmanizers are back on top, 83-82, 9:54 left in the ball game. Bates for the rebound. The Redmanizers looking for a 3-point lead. Here's Abid Gidabin. Lateral assault to the basket. No foul whistle blew there. Here's Bogs Adornado streaking down court. Cesar almost stealing, and here's Norman Black going around Philip Cesar.
Very clear.
Offensive foul, Black.
An offensive foul by Norman Black gives him his 4th personal.
We are sure that foul was not called because of the artistic movement of Cesar.
Nope. This time he didn't have to help it one bit. Cesar tried to hit Billy Ray Bates as Bates cut in, but wrong timing.
You see, Billy Ray Bates was open on that play. He cut back door, but good defense by the rest of the Great Taste squad deflected that ball out of bounds.
Right. Here's Atoico going around a pick by Philip Cesar. Got it from the corner.
Basic basketball.
85-82, a 3-point lead for the Crispa Redmonizers, struggling to keep its head above water in this best-of-5 series against the Coffee Makers. 9 minutes and 6 seconds left. Adornado has it in the right flank. We just saw an 8-0 blast by the Crispa Redmonizers. The momentum is definitely on their side. Oh, look at that air ball thrown up by Adornado. And here is Atoico feeding Abed Gidabin, who in turn gives it to Cesar. Uses the glass.
You see, as we mentioned earlier, Great Taste cannot blow out the Crispa Redmonizers, at least in this basketball game. But on the other hand, Crispa is capable of scoring 10 points in a row.
I was about to comment on that. You said that in the early second quarter that Crispa is capable to make 3 or 4 points unanswered, and it had come. More than what you said, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
No success on the Great Taste offensive. Abed Gidabin goes up. No foul whistle. Here is Ricardo Brown. Both clubs trying to drive us up the wall with this 110-kilometer-per-hour clip.
Yes, as By mentioned earlier, the best way to characterize Ricardo Brown's shot is a perpendicular jump shot.
Yes, he always takes that, and there you can seldom see. I have not seen yet Brown commit an offensive foul.
Oh, he's much too nice a guy to commit an offensive foul. Atoico.
Waxing hot. And what a moment to be hot.
Yes. Tommy Monotog is thanking his lucky stars that Atoico found his bearings at just the right moment. 89-84, a 5-point lead for the Redmonizers. Foul, Philip Cesar. His 3rd.
Foul, Cesar. Victorino.
Victorino is being replaced by Joey Carpio. Well, Victorino played his heart out, but he didn't get too much success, so they're going to Joey Carpio, who played a magnificent game against the Redmonizers in their first outing 3 nights ago.
Joe Carpio can create miracles.
Exactly.
He has the hustle, he has the kind of shot, and he's very energetic in defense.
And let's not forget the additional dimension of the fact that he is a former Crispa Redmonizer, and rejection is one of the biggest motivating factors in any athlete.
You know, I think the best part of Carpio's game is his ability to fill the lanes on the fast breaks.
Bates gets fouled by Carpio.
I think this is not too good a matchup here with Carpio covering
Yes,
Billy Ray Bates.
I was about to say that, Steve. You got me because Bates can travel from left to right, and Carpio guards only in one distinct position.
Atoico fires one off Carpio and misses. The rebound to Norman Black. Can't find the receiver. Joel Banal finally brings it down court for the Coffee Makers. Brown pumps once and gets his foul from Philip. That's his 4th.
Foul, Cesar.
We've got 7 minutes and 13 seconds left in this hair-racing ball game. The Crispa Redmonizer is up by 4, but that's no one game for them by a long shot. Not with Ricardo Brown pumping in those foul shots. 89-87, just a basket lead for the Redmonizers. 7-11 left. By Cristobal. Orchestrating the offensive for the green shirts of Crispa. Billy Ray Bates in the left flank. Watched now by Joey Carpio.
He's going to need some help.
You can say that again.
What a pass.
Atoico getting him from all angles. That time from point-blank range. And it's another 4-point bubble for Crispa. 6:45 left. Bogs Adornado switches stride. Wow, only Bogs Adornado can make that kind of a shot.
Bogs showing us his dribbling ability.
Right. 91-89. By Cristobal works it over to Gidabin. Stoico gets a shield from Gidabin. Cesar in the three-point region. Bates challenging Carpio. Foul. Carpio.
As he said, Steve, Carpio could not control.
No, I think they have to bring in a guy like Paguntalan, because look at that on slow motion. You also have to remember the fact that Billy Ray Bates himself is quite tired. So, you know, you got to bring in a guy like Paguntalan or Banal, somebody that's going to be all over Bates and possibly deny Billy Ray Bates the basketball.
And the position, at least, the acquired position. Let him work hard.
Right. Billy Ray Bates gets both charities. Don't you think Leo Paguntalan would be a little overmatched for Billy Ray Bates?
Well, Paguntalan was doing a good job in the early going against Bates. In respect of playing Bates, even when Paguntalan was on offense, he was playing Bates. In other words, he had a conscious awareness of where Bates was, even when his team was on offense.
Yeah, he's a sextant, because he had been with him and had sticking with him, so he knows that feeling.
The pressure of the game is causing even the veterans to wither. Adornado missing his first, making his second. 93-90, a three-point advantage for the Redmanizers going into the last 6 minutes and 10 seconds of this game. You know, friends meet at Keg Room Restaurant, Makati Avenue, beside the Ayala Museum. We hope to see you there. Make Keg Room your next stop between office and home. Okay, now it's Ricardo Brown against Billy Ray Bates.
Yes, mismatch here.
This doesn't make any sense at all. Oh,
Now
it does make sense. Put my foot in my mouth again. All right, here.
Oh.
A hard break. After perpetrating a beautiful steal, they blew it on an error. And we've got a timeout by Tommy Marotta.